People are still talking about the decision of Tony Abbott to award Prince Philip a knighthood in the Order of Australia. Joining us to discuss this is Mark Kenny, Chief Political Correspondent for the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Mark, why does this decision matter? It's not really going to affect anyone's lives in the way of putting up, say, the cost of going to the doctor. Why should we care?
Well, I suppose in many ways people don't care, but these awards are symbolic, right? And the Prime Minister can't have it both ways. The symbol of this decision is really the thing that has resonated very badly around the Australian community, but particularly around his own party, and that is the symbolism of an Australia Day award, an award on Australia Day, the day that celebrates this nation, going to the British monarch, to Buck Palace itself, effectively, in the Queen's husband. It seems bizarre. It seems to reinforce what voters think about Tony Abbott, which is that he is a monarchist looking backwards rather than someone who's looking forward. And I think that's the problem. I mean, it's not me saying this. This is his colleagues. One had to ring around on the day this came out, and had no trouble finding people who were absolutely incredulous as to the PM's political judgment and what looks like a highly ideological decision.
There has been criticism of the way the Prime Minister has been running the government from within the government, from not just the backbench, but from ministers. There's this promise to reset, but this decision seems to be, throw that to the wind.
Well, that's right, and again it goes to sort of symbolism. I mean, what's truth and what's fact and what's just spin, what's just kind of talk. The PM's certainly been ringing backbenchers, influential backbenchers in his party, and trying to present a new consultative style for 2015 after what was a pretty scrappy year last year, and one that ended in fairly desultory fashion for the government. And yet, even as those calls have been going out, and some people were hopeful that this might presage a new approach to politics in 2015, we get this announcement, and it's it's a very, very much a known goal. And as I say, conservative commentators, conservative MPs, plenty of people around. Very few people have come out with any sort of spirited defence for this because there isn't really one.
And now the discussion has started about the leadership, the potential for a leadership challenge or a new leader or whatever. Place that in context. Is that realistic?
Well, I don't know that it's, one doesn't want to sort of get accused of drumming this up or of being, or of talking about it when it isn't there. But remember that these things have to start somewhere if they are to ever occur. There was not much talk about a leadership change for Kevin Rudd in 2010, and then suddenly it happened. Similarly, the talk about Julia Gillard's change of leadership in 2013 went on and on and on for some time. There were a couple of attempts and eventually it occurred. I mean, these things have a character that's specific to the times. Now, I don't think there's any move at the moment for changing leadership, but it's an interesting psychological Rubicon that's been crossed, I think, as a result of this, the cumulative effect of this and some of the other decisions that have occurred that have mystified and embarrassed and left confused MPs in its wake. And that is the sort of notion of actually now talking about it. The discussion is actually happening, at least at a theoretical level. Are we in the best place to recover? Can we actually recover under Tony Abbott's leadership? Is he the best person to lead us? Can he change? Does a leopard change at spots? These sorts of conversations, however casual, however disorganised, are just starting to happen. And we have a story on the website today showing that some MPs are even discussing the possibility of getting together to discuss the future of the government, what they see as the dysfunction of decision-making in the government. This is dangerous for any leader, and no leader, no matter how strongly placed, can simply ignore it.
Okay, Mark Kenny, thanks for your insights.
Thanks, Chris.